Good evening, my friends. Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with another live CGC unboxing plus a discussion to follow the unboxing. And we're going to be talking a little bit about Golden Age comics and are they recession-proof? Do they hold their values? So we're going to be talking about that after the unboxing today. And boy, do I have a big unboxing for you this evening. 3 boxes containing some pretty big keys, my friends. Some pretty big Disney as I adjust my seat. Some pretty big DC keys. And a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm not sure exactly what. A whole bunch of boxes arrived today. I'm only doing 3 boxes today. And again, if you are new here, my friends, I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor. I'm a comic book presser. Every Tuesday night, I come on here and I unbox CGC books that belong to you. Many of my great clients. This is kind of a added bonus, I guess, a virtual show and tell of your books as they come back from CGC. And you know what? We also have a live chat going on here as well, guys. So if you want to participate in our chat, I go to the chat every few minutes or so as I go through the books. If you have any questions about CGC grading, comic book pressing, comic book collecting, fandom in general, you can ask those questions or share your comments with me in our chat section. But in order to do so, you must be a subscriber. So hopefully you will hit that subscribe button. And heck, while you're at it, hit that like button and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live again. Like I said, it's pretty much every Tuesday now. But you never know. If I end up getting a huge, overwhelming amount of comics being sent back to me, I may add additional show. So this week, you may see another show later this week. So I got quite a few boxes. All right, guys. The chat room is hopping. Let's get to the first book. And it's a big one, my friend. This is a big book. I've shown pictures of this book. Where is it? On my Instagram page. If I can find you over there, it is. And it's back. Here it is. Look at this right here. Boom. Detective Comics 33. First appearance of Wayne, Bruce Wayne, not Bruce Wayne, sorry, oh my gosh. Martha Wayne and Thomas Wayne. There it is. And a few other goodies there, guys. The origin of Batman in this book. This is a huge Golden Age monster. This one, along with obviously Detective Comics 27 and 31, are the 3 heavy hitters in the Detective Comics Golden Age era. Book certainly wanting, most of us would love to have, only dream of having. This book has gone through the roof. And this book was given to me, actually, I didn't press this book. I didn't work on this book. We looked at it. The book was actually previously graded at a 3.0. years ago, and the owner bought it and wanted to inspect the book, so he cracked it out. And back then, the book wasn't worth what it is worth today. So, anyways, he is preparing to potentially sell his last few big books, and we're going to see a few more of these in the coming weeks. He wanted to get them graded, so we sent them back again, and they were graded. And boy, it cost a pretty penny, but here they are. And it looks fantastic in this slab, and the book presents amazing. It's a great book. It's all there. The cover is detached, and I think that is why it garners the 3, because this book, boy, oh boy, this book to me, for a Golden Age book, screams a lot higher than a 3.0. Look at how gorgeous that is. Anyways, a few more other not Golden Age, but Silver Age goodies. Actually, are they Golden Age? I'm not sure. We got some more DC goodies coming up, so don't you go anywhere. Let's keep going here. Again, 3 boxes. Let me just... Oh my gosh, what did I do here? I made a bit of a mess here, guys. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, let's keep going. What do we have? We have an Amazing Spider-Man 238. First appearance of the Hobgoblin in a 9.6. We have a Swamp Thing number 37. In a 9.6. Are we getting our modern books back finally? Holy cow. About time. All right, we've got a 9.8 copy of... Now the Swamp Thing and these 3 books go together. So if you are someone who had these 3 last books, including this one, 9.8 Vengeance of Bane, these all belong to the same order right there in a 9.8. And that's not the DC book I was talking about, guys. We got a couple of real sweet ones coming up right now. Oh, nice. We got the Marvel Family, number 10. This is a 0.5. Nice Golden Age. Another couple of Golden Age beauties. as you can see, they're now putting the invoices inside the... Guys, I cannot tell you the headache CGC has been causing me again. It's like happening again. I think they hired a new shipping manager, and they've been screwing up a bunch of my shipments, and it's becoming quite a pain in the butt yet again. If you recall, they sent Bart from New York's books back to me, my last order, and they sent another batch of Bart's books to me just the other day, and they're also screwing up ground versus express. And if they're shipping back to me in express, it costs... Give you an example, an express box from CGC to me is about $400. It's like it's like 50 to 60% more expensive than ground. And so I obviously insist on ground, and they're not sending them in by ground anymore. They're going to reimburse me, but again, I have to stay on them. I have to email them. Again, more time spent dealing with careless errors. Been very frustrating the last few days. Okay, like I said, let me do one more. Then we'll go to the, oh, nice. That's a book you don't see in 9.8 too often. Strange Tales 178 with Warlock and a 9.8 off-white pager. Not bad at all. All right. I think my CGC stack is high enough. I will now go to the chat room, see who's here. And then, again, if you have any questions for me, this is the time to ask, my friends. And this is, honestly, the main reason I come on here is not only to share these books with all of you, but if my clients have questions for me, they can talk to me personally right here, right now. This is the time to do it. Happy to answer any questions you have. Let me go to the chat window right now and see who is here. All right, we start off with John Sherwood's first of the house today. How you doing? I hit the like button before the show began. That's how good it is. Oh, John, you are a great friend of the channel. Thank you so very much. Ranger for Collectors is here. How you doing? Bad Hombre's here. How are you? Frank's here. How you doing, Frank? Your Hulk 181 is in this batch somewhere. Not sure where, but it's in here somewhere. And I'm going to tell you right now, Frank, you got a bump. A little one, but nonetheless, a little bit of a bump. I'm doing well, Frank. How you doing? GTA Lady's here. How you doing, GTA Lady? Good to see you. Adam Donnelly's in the house. And Frank, I just answered that question for you. Joey Lane is here. How's it going, Kevin and everyone? How you doing, Joey? Ryan Preston, hey, all watching from Russell, Manitoba. Welcome. RB's, our Rock City's here. Bring on the books. Love seeing the fruits of your labors. Me too. It's really nice to see these books coming back. There was a little bit of a slowdown over at CGC. Again, they don't tell me nothing, guys. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. So, you know, I could tell you that usually when new employees start, that's when problems happen. Remember those cracks from back earlier in the spring of this year? I am convinced that was due to new employees. Someone, again, I don't know how they seal these damn things up. I can only imagine some kind of compression machine they use to seal them. I think it was calibrated incorrectly, and that's why all those cracks were coming. Again, I think it's all because of new employees. Turnover, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's really frustrating when they do have new employees. There's a new shipping manager, like I said, over there right now, who I think I need to get on the phone, have a real tete-a-tete with, and find out what the hell's going on and why she keeps screwing up my orders, because it needs to stop. And I've gotten to the point now where when I send submission forms, I'm stapling a cover letter saying, you've been screwing these up for the last month. Please stop. Bold letters, giving direct instructions. That's what I've been doing the last 2 submissions. Hopefully that will work, because again, I don't want refunds. I don't want problems. I just want the damn things to be delivered as I request. That's all. Is that so much to ask? All right, you know what? Before I say pack this baby away, there it is, guys. She's a beauty. I'm gonna make that a little closer for her. Let me go to my full window here, because we don't see a book like this every day, and it's absolutely stunning. Look at it. Look at the colors on that. Look at that. Beautiful. That looks nicer than a 3.0. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? It's got a bit of tanning down here. And you know what? We could have mended those. We could have mended the what do you call it? The cover detachment. We could have fixed that problem. But at what cost? You know, do you want to get a conserve label, or do you want to keep it blue label? Obviously you do. So that's why we did. But a gorgeous book. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Yeah, okay. Where's my bag for that? Right here. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Doc, do you send autographed books to CBCS for grading? I will send books to CBCS under your account. Once the books get to CBCS, I never want to deal with them. I'll happily pack the books for you. I'll ship the books for you to CBCS. But all I ask is that you set up your own account with CBCS. It's free to do. Do the paperwork. Send the paperwork with your books to me. Once the books are pressed and ready to go, I will happily ship your book to CBCS for you directly, and they will charge your Visa and they will or your credit card, whatever you choose to use, and they will send the book directly back to you, and I don't have to get involved or deal with CBCS. One screwy company's enough for me. Thank you very much. I don't care if they hear me say that. Screwy company. Get on top of it. Jesus. So frustrating. I'm yelling at the... I call up the... it was Rachel. God bless Rachel. I feel bad. The customer service people over at CJC are fine. Matt, Rachel, there's others. I called Rachel last week. I was talking to her and I just let her have it. I just had enough. I was so frustrated. Why am I and I had to stay online waiting to talk to her for like 40 minutes. Like, who has that kind of time? I don't have that kind of time to be dealing with stupid, idiotic mistakes that shouldn't happen in the first place. Read the submission form. Whether I put a notice on it or not, you should read the freaking submission form. Anyways, I gave it to her. I was so pissed off and I felt bad, but what can you do? I'm at my wit's end. They're not fixing the problems. Like, how about this? I still don't get statements from them. Every month, I used to get statements. Every time my Visa was billed, I would get a statement in my email saying, this has gone through. And it was great because I could cross-reference that with my Visa, make sure everything was cool. I would stamp on everybody's invoice that it was paid for already through CGC. I was billed for it. They don't send me that anymore. Every month, I have to contact their accounting office and request a statement. Like, what the frick? Why would I have to request a statement? Just send me a freaking statement. You know I need it. I'm running a bloody business here. Like, how much? Unbelievable. It's just that kind of shit just drives me nuts. Okay. Blood pressure, Kevin. Blood pressure. Dave's here. How you doing, Dave? Nice new glasses, Rob. Thank you. Yes. They're big. Thank you very much. And I can see a lot more with these, actually. They're awesome. I had these other ones. I didn't like them. I took them back, and my optician is excellent. He gave me these guys. They feel good. They feel nice. Yeah, but it's funny because I got this big bushy beard and these glasses. My wife's called me Martin Scorsese now, or a mobster. She's like a godfather now, like Uncle Jew in Sopranos. Not quite that old or bald, and but I do resemble. I didn't realize it when I did all this, but I kind of have similar now features to that other YouTuber known as Nerd Erotic. Look him up, Nerd Erotic. Gary Beekler, I think his name is. He's got a big white, kind of a big beard with big glasses too. I totally forgot he had the big glasses going on. But what hell? I don't care. I'm rocking it. Yes, James, new glasses. Thank you. Hey, Doc, great to see you. You 2P man. Astro Lucky. Hey, Doc, good evening. Hello, Warren's here. How you doing, Warren? Joey says, doing nice golden age. Goodness, yes, they are. Easy 30, easy, more like, well, we'll talk about that. But we're going to look at that book. Again, if you're just getting here now, once I'm done this unboxing, I'm going to go over to GP Analysis. We're going to look at some Golden Age books and see how they're doing. Are Golden Age books recession-proof? We all know now that books are Silver Age, Modern Age books, especially Modern Age books, are really taking a hit. The values are plummeting in some cases. Is the same thing happening with these key Golden Age books? Or are they holding on? Are they holding on for dear life? Are they maintaining? So we'll look into that later on. Okay, let's keep going here, guys. Again, 3 boxes to go. What the heck is this? What do I have here? I have a book that was not graded, it looks like. Oh. What the heck is going on here? What the heck? They're more than half the book. Oh, why did I send these? Oh, those were sent by accident, I think. 112, 143. I don't think I was supposed to send these. These were sent in error. Because a lot of these books were missing pages. I don't know why I sent these. But anyways, they were returned because they wouldn't grade them because they have notes. More than half the book is missing and detached interior pages, more than half the book. I knew that. I don't know why. I think I sent these in error because I already talked to, these belong to Deepak. And I contacted him about these and I held these back. Why did I send them? I don't know. Force of habit, I guess. Okay, so I'll put those aside. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Put those in here like so. And I'll put them over here on my printer for now. All right, let's keep going. We have another modern book. And when I see modern books, what do I like to see? I like to see 9/8. And there we go. 340 Hulk in a 9/8. What else we got? We have a 9.0 Miss Marvel #1. Off-white to white pages. We also have nice 9.8 copy of Daredevil 181. A 9/8 white pager, baby. That's what I like to see. (9/8) white pager, 607. Very nice, very nice. Let's keep that trend going. Yes, we are going to keep that trend going. 9/8 Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, number 19. Venom appearance, death of Anne Wang, whoever the hell that is. That's after my time, I'm afraid, in a 9.8. And I do not believe these are pre-screen. These are just submissions, if I recall correctly. We've got a Spider-Man #4 with Silk, also in a 9/8. Gotta love it. If you're going to have modern books like this, you want to get them in 9/8. If you can. If you can. It's not always a guarantee. We all know that. Another ASM 238. This one's a newsstand copy in a 9.4. We have an Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16 with apparent color touch. What? Apparent color touch. What's that all about? I don't see no color touch on this thing. I see some foxing on here and some staining, but I sure don't see any color touch. But apparently there is in a 7.5. That's kind of weird. And we're right back to the 9/8s again, which I like to see. Well, one anyways. We've got a 9/8 copy, pretty sick cover, 1980s variant, Amazing Spider-Man 692. Yeah, these slabs are nice and clean. 9.8 right there. And this stack is too high. I can't do any more. But I will show you this one. 8.0 copy of Spider-Man 151, off-white to white. Right there. We'll pack these babies back up. Go back to the chat room. Warren's asking about a 3.0. The book was a 3.0. If you're talking about the Tech 33, it is a 3.0. Jay Wolfgang is here. How you doing, Jay Wolfgang? Shout out to my kids, Doc, watching the vid with me. How you doing, Vladimir Wolfgang? Welcome to the show. Hope you're enjoying all these amazing comic books. So Vladimir and Wolfgang, how old are you guys? And do you like comics as much as your pop? All right, let's see who else is here. Any more? No, that's it for the comments. We've got 38 people here right now. We have only 21 likes, guys. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, that would be greatly appreciated. It does help the analytics here. We are trying to get more people watching the channel. That'd be certainly a good thing. These bags suck. These are the tight ones. I don't like these bags. Oh my gosh, they're tight. Hard to get the comics in there. We have around 6 or so comics left in this one. 5 and 3, Vladimir. Oh, you guys are really young. Starting them young, eh? That's good. That's what I did too. And as you can see, my kids are nowhere to be found. I didn't do a good job. I did not do a good job recruiting my kids into the comic world. They know about all of it, but they ain't picking up comics anytime soon, I'm afraid, which really kind of sucks because it'd be nice if they did. Although I do have Jack coming to the shop, bagging and boarding for me, so he's learning through due process, I guess. All right, let's see. We're almost done putting these babies back in their bags. We'll get right back to it. 2 more boxes after this one, guys. All right. They went back to their thin bags. They had those thicker bags that were really quite nice. They were a little larger. It was easy to get the books in and out. These ones are really tight, and they're really finicky. Okay, last one. Now, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. We start back with another 9.8. This one is a TMNT Adventures number 1, Canadian Newsstand Edition in a 9.8. We also have, very cool, we got a Marvel Age number 00, Newsstand Edition, also in a 9.8. Sick. We have got an Amazing Spider-Man 300. Again, an ASM 300 is probably the most... You know what I'm going to do this year, guys? I will do a show at some point before the new year going over the most submitted books of the year. I sometimes do that. This is bound to be one of them. And this one too. Wolverine number 1, 9.8. Come on now, 9.8. Look. Well, I'm very happy for the person who got a 9.8 on this. But to me, well, whatever. Anyways, 9.8 white pager right there. And two more. Two more from this box. We got a Star Wars number 68. Is this? I don't think this is yours, Frank. This is a little too soon, I think. Yours just went in. Never know. I don't think so. In a 9.6. Might be. Whoops. Ooh, sorry for the noise. And a New Mutants 87. This is the one I think it is. Let's see. I don't know if it is. In a 9.8 Newsstand Edition. Awesome. So we end that box with another 9.8. Nothing wrong with that. So that was an interesting variety of books, wasn't it, guys? I'm glad they finally came back. Warren is saying that some of those are his. That's good because Warren's Moderns have been sitting there for a while, as has a lot of other client books. I don't know. Again, I don't know what was happening over at CGC, why the vintage books were getting done quicker. Usually the other way around. Usually the modern books are done quicker, but it is what it is. All right. Okay, another two more here, and we will get right back into box number 2. I thought I had a magazine box. I guess I don't. All right. Give me one sec, guys. I gotta get a video again when this back area is going to get redone at some point. I haven't done this yet because this room is on a second floor. And that press there is very heavy, as you probably can imagine. And I want that press out of here. I got to hire someone to do it. It's too big for me. I brought it up with some buddies. I ain't bringing it down. So I got to hire a couple of young bucks to come in here and do it very carefully because I don't want to damage the walls in my home. And I don't want to damage the stairwell the staircase we just had refinished. Last thing I want to do is... damage anything. So I have to bring somebody in. And once that's out of here, I'm going to redo this whole background. I'll have more collectibles back there and stuff. And I might actually bring, I'll stand back a little bit more or sit back. I won't be so in your face. And then I'll, you can see more of the background here. It'll be a little more enjoyable than just this close-up of me. That's my plan. But again, it won't be until I get that press out of here. And I know they've been bugging me at the shop to bring the press over there. And I will. There's always something new, guys. Remember I talked about humidity. Well, we're having that problem again. Last year at the old shop, I had a humidity problem where it wasn't humid enough. And now that the heat is coming on more regularly at the new shop, yes, it's happening. It's dry as ever, and it's affecting the pressing. So I already ran a new water line to my furnace. And so tomorrow we're having a humidifier installed on the furnace directly. And that should hopefully stabilize the humidity in our space. Guys, it's so important. I don't know whoever does your books, things like that are so important. You can't be working in a damp basement. You can't, that doesn't have proper humidity control, and you can't be in a space that's too dry. If your humidity level drops down to 30, 29, 30, that's too dry. The books you'll see a difference in the press. As soon as I had humidity control at my other shop, boy, oh boy, what a difference I saw in the books. It was so much. But then there's always something, guys. There's always something. What happened, though, is I had an ultrasonic humidifier, and it covered 2,000 square feet, but I was using regular tap water. And what happened? All of a sudden, within 2 weeks, you could taste dust in the air almost. And we found like a white film on all the products, and all the presses started getting white films on them. So basically what was happening is the humidifier was putting this mist out, and it was also, the calcium and the minerals from the water were ending up on everything in the whole place. So I had to bring in someone to put in a reverse osmosis system. It never ends. The money just keeps going. So you put a humidifier in, that's great. Oh, now I need to put a water treatment system in to use with that. It was never ending. So, yeah, now I'm in the new shop and the same thing's happening, right? The exact same thing's happening on a much bigger scale. For those who have been to my shop, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, but that's tomorrow, and I'm very excited to have that finally under control, because we have been noticing we've been having to redo books because of the humidity or lack thereof. All right, one more time, guys, putting her away. She's going bye-bye. Now, I've had a lot of people write me about that book. That book is for sale, and there are about 3 guys that are in line right now to potentially purchase that book. So it isn't a cheap book, as you all know. We're going to look at the values in just a moment. And to go with that book, there will be a Detective Comics 27, coverless, and a 31, which is also coming down the mountain as well. But they're not here. These things are going one at a time. The owner of that book will be here tomorrow to pick it up. And on to the next. Okay, so box number 1 is done. I want to make sure all the submission forms are there. They are. All right, let's go moving right along. Let's start off with this one here. Iron Fist number 1 in a 9.2. Then we got an Iron Man 128, and it says there's a detached cover, and I do see this right there. The cover was not detached when it left us. I'm starting to see that a little more often now, and I'm not digging on that. That's the second one I've seen in about a month with a detached staple. Maybe third, actually. It's down here. The thing with that is such a noticeable thing that if I see a detached staple, I contact the owner and I say, listen, staple's detached. Whether it's done, it arrives that way, or if after the pressing a detached staple occurs, I would not send a book in only to come back green. It's pointless, right? I let the owner know. So that obviously something happened. Something's going on over there. I don't know, but that's not cool. We also have an Avengers number 8, 3.5. First appearance of Kang the Conqueror. I don't know if this one or not is starting to plummet. I wouldn't be surprised with all the discussions over Kang, or if Kang is even going to be the big baddie anymore. It looks like they're moving him out and replacing him potentially with Doctor Doom or another character. Let's see what else we have here. We also have, another 9.8. Modern book. We have an 88 9.8 right there with a nice custom Wolverine label. We also have a really nice high-grade copy of Iron Fist number 14 with the first appearance of Sabretooth. Nice right there. 9.2. I think I've got a 9.6 of that book somewhere. And mine's actually a qualified. I do have a qualified copy. Mine's a 9.6 signed by Chris Claremont, unverified. So I've got that green label on mine. We have a 9.6 copy of Batman 428, Death in the Family, Part 3. Right there. Check that slab really quick. I didn't have a good look. Okay. We also have a Wolverine another Wolverine number 1 in a 9.2. That I can see. Let's make sure there's no... Okay, this stack is getting high. I'm going to stop this one after this next book. We got an X-Men 25 and a 9.8 as well. Very good. All right, let's get going. Let's go back to our chat. Wow. You guys have been talking up a storm here. Okay, hold on a second here. Chat window. This is box number 2, by the way, guys. So far, a lot of modern books, but I wouldn't be surprised, if some more bronze are heading our way as well. Take another look at that swamp thing, I guess, and see if it could do better or not, please. Okay, well, it's put away now, but I will take a look at some point for you, Warren. Luis says, Mendoza, hello, I have a copy of Predator 1 from Dark Horse, his first appearance, and on the back cover of the book, it has like a thin section that didn't get ink from the printing process running down the length of it. Is it by the spine or right down the middle? That's my question. When it comes to printing errors like that, they're not supposed to really deduct points, but I think that's basically if the book is mid to high grade. If you're sitting on a book that's potentially a 9.8 and it's missing color all the way down the back, even though it's a factory error, I still think they're not going to give the book a 9.8. They'll give it a 9.6 maybe, or qualified, although they shouldn't give it a qualified because it's not missing anything. But send me a picture. I would like to see. You got to make sure that the color wasn't rubbed, because it could have been rubbed off. If it's by the spine, there's a chance all the way down it could have just rubbed off in shipping or transport. Something like that could have happened. But Luis, if you'd like, or is it Luis or Luis? I'm not sure. But Mr. Mendoza, if you'd like, send me a picture. And I'll be happy to have a look at it for you. And you're always welcome, guys, to give CGC a call. You can call. They take forever now, but they do answer questions. So if you want to give their submissions phone number a call, so just Google it. You can call and ask those questions too. I am thinking that if it's a 9.8 candidate, but it has that white line, I really need to see it to determine it. But I'm thinking they won't give it a 9.8. They'd probably give it like a 9.6 and hit you for it. That's what I think. Yeah. That's pissing me off, this one, man. Ugh. This one makes me mad. When I see that, it drives me crazy. Bad Hombres here won't get a 9.8. It's a printed defect, mostly a 9.4. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Luis. Just like Bad Hombres says. Tap water, no bueno. Yeah, I know. But I couldn't fill that thing up with like distilled water. It would cost me a fortune. Anyways, end up putting a reverse osmosis in it. Problem solved. Okay, Bad Hombre says, most likely you will have a lot of blue color left over on your board for that book. Happens a lot. That's what I mean. It could have just rubbed off. Rock City depends on if it's known printing defect. There you go. Something wrong with the coloring of back cover on that one. So it tends to lose its color and leave it behind on the backing board supporting your book. There you go. Good information there. GTA Lady, can't wait to see how they represent Doom. It's going to be interesting. What they do next is very important. If you watched last week's show, we talked a little bit about, what was it last week? We talked about the Marvels last week, I believe. But no, it wasn't the Marvels. Women. We talked about women in the movies, and we started talking, the women characters. And we started talking a little bit about, kind of pandering to the audience by giving them what they want now, and giving us X-Men that we already know, and not coming up with new original characters, but just kind of regurgitating what's already been out there. And I think that's a mistake personally. But they seem to be going down that road. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it's a good thing. I hope they do a good job with the GTA lady. Bad hombre. He'll probably have a rainbow colored armor. You know what? I wouldn't be a damn bit surprised. Ryan says, I just sent a Silver Surfer 3 that has tape down the whole spine. When graded, can it still get, it will get a blue label. It will get a blue label. That's not a problem. Tape is not considered restoration. And depending on how much tape is in there, they may or may not make mention of it. I think I sent a couple of books down that did have tape, and there was no mention of the tape in the notes, in the grader's notes, or anywhere on the cover. But I know myself, because I know it was inside the book, there was tape in the book. But they don't look at tape as restoration, so you are safe so long as there's no glue or any other business going on there. A blue label shall be had. Okay. What we got here? All right, let's continue here with some more books. We'll come back to the chat in just a few moments. Nice! I did not think this was going to get a 9.8, and I am so glad that it did. First appearance of Carrie Kelly in Batman the Dark Knight #1. Probably the one book, that really started taking comics down that darker path, Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of dark storylines going on in the Batman books in the 1970s. Even with some of the drug issues in DC and Marvel. But it was this book that kind of reimagined an old grisly Batman. An elderly Batman who has to don the cowl once more to take down Superman. That we saw a much darker depiction of the Dark Knight, where I think would eventually lead to us seeing that Tim Burton Batman. This is kind of where it all started. And this came out, around the same time I started collecting, 85, 86. That would have been the time. It really kind of gave Batman a new lease on life, a new look, which was pretty awesome. Very happy it came back in 9.8. I did not think it would. We've got a 9.2 copy of Spider-Man 252. This one looks like it has been read. That's what I mean. Like you can see there's a bit of a crease where this book has, remember, a thicker cover. You can see it's been opened. So I figured they wouldn't give it a 9.8, but they did. So that's okay. We've got a Spider-Man 252 and a 9.2 white pager, and that's a newsstand copy. All right, we've got another 9.8. We got a Secret Wars 8. Frank, do you want to buy another one? Here we go. 9.8. This one here is just a direct copy, though. It is not a Canadian price variant. Oh, wow. Whose are these? Some lucky fella. Avengers Annual number 10 and a 9. And that's one you don't see in a 9.8 too often either anymore. So awesome. First appearance of Rogue in a 9.8. Gotta love that. Awesome. We've got another Killing Joke. This one is a 9.4. It says Brian Boland written on cover in marker right here. See Brian Boland's name right there. And that is why you get the green cover. The green label, sorry. Why only... Let's see. Why is it not a 9.8? Let's see. It's got kind of a little rounded edge there, but this, to me, looks nicer than a 9. Anyways, 9.4. Okay. First Gambit, 9.6. 266. X-Men and with white pages right there. We are about halfway through box number 2. Another box to go, so don't go anywhere. We've got a Detective Comics 475 from 1978, and this one is a 7.5, and I think rightfully so. Rightfully so. And then we have also, what's going on with this? Star Wars. Gee whiz. Star Wars number 2 in an 8.5 with apparent color touch. Well, where the heck's the color touch? On cover. Is that color touch? Because I still see... Oh, well. Again, there it is. Beavis and Butthead. Oh. That don't sound good, does it? Beavis and Butthead number 1, 9.8, white pager with a cracked slab. That baby's going aside, and we'll be heading back. Put that over there. Let's make sure this Star Wars didn't have a crack in it too, because it was right beside it, and it doesn't look like it did. If you're just getting here now, guys, we're on box number 2 of 3. You're going to want to rewind and see what was in that first box. It was quite the doozy. We've got the Spectre, number 54, in a 9.8. Isn't that weird? No cracks at all on this one. That is so strange. That is so strange. You know, this stack is getting high. We're going to be heading back to the chat room in just 1 second. We got a Spider-Man. Sorry, Spider-Man number 7, first appearance of Spider-Boy, I guess. With a variant cover in a 9.2. And why is this only a 9.2? Again, like there's some... What's going on with that? These books, if I remember correctly, were quite decent. If I remember, and I've done a lot of these books, but why only a 9.2? Is there something going on here? I can't see it. Anyways, 9.2. Did you see that one yet, guys? There it is. Pretty book. All right, this stack is a little high. Gonna have to go back to the chat room, clean these babies up, and then and we'll come back here and finish this box. About 5 or 6 books more in this box. Let's go over to the chat window and see what's going on here. Bedazzled armor. That'd be interesting. Bedazzled armor. Let's see Doctor Doom with bedazzled armor. Bad Hombre, it can, but only if you list it on your CG submission form to grade it as blue. Okay, so you're talking about whether or not you can take the hit on a green label and get it reduced in grade and put into a blue label. I don't think the only time, in my opinion, you should have a green label is if something is missing. If you're missing pages, if you've got a coverless book, if a clipping is missing from the book, give it a qualified book or qualified label because something is missing. But if you've got an unverified signature there, then give it the hit. What if I just signed Kevin on there? They're not going to give that a green qualified label. They're going to say there's a signature on there. They're going to dock the marks and give it a blue label. They should do the exact same thing with an unverified signature. That's what they should do. Let's just simplify the system and do that. But no. Sometimes they do blue. Sometimes they do green. You can ask and request for a blue. It's so inconsistent. Forget the inconsistency. Just make it so. Just knock it. Look, there's Brian Boland's name's on there. All right, so if that's a 9.4 qualified, give it a 9.2 or a 9.0 blue. Unverified signature on front or autograph on front cover. Is that so hard? No. What is the maximum grade of tape on cover? Depends on the age of book. If it's golden book, you'll get a blue label. It all depends on how tape. No, you can put tape on this book. It's still coming back a blue label. Tape is not. You can have it covered in tape. It will not be given a purple label. Now, good question. How much tape can you have on it? You're probably not going to see a book in the. You probably won't. Again, I'm guessing here. I don't know the exact answer to this question. I'm going to say and maybe somebody can correct me if they already experienced this. I don't think you're going to see a book. Doubtfully, you're going to see a book in the 8 range with a tape. Probably not even in the 7 range, but in the 6 range, perhaps. You probably could still see a bit of tape on a 6, I think. And it also makes a difference on how much tape you're talking about. If it's a little bit like a little piece of tape, that's one thing. If you're if you've got tape all over the book, yeah, it's going to really knock it down. But regardless if it's a little bit of tape or a lot of tape, you will always get the blue label. It's a Silver Age book. Okay. How much tape? Because I see tape on Silver Age books all the time. Frank, hey Kevin, do you press a book and all the defects are gone, but when the comic comes back from grading, some of the pressable defects come back? What will be the reason? Yeah, that can happen. 100%, Frank. A lot of different reasons. It's a good question. Let me just pack this last one away, and I'll actually address that, because there's a few reasons why a book that's pressed could leave one way and come back another. I'll tell a story to go along with it. A story that I told a long time ago, and I'll retell it right now. I won't spend a lot of time doing it because I have a whole other box to share with you guys, but we got a bit of time here. And it's Tuesday night, and we all know what this is all about, right? So, Frank asked the question, can a book be sent to CGC, in a certain condition and come back with defects that were pressed out? Could they come back? Sure they can. Two things. I pack the books when they leave me. Now, I can't speak for every other presser out there or anybody who's submitting books for stores. I can't speak for them. I know when I send books out, I pack them really tight, and I put them in. I return the books usually in CGC boxes, the same boxes that come. I send the books back, and I shrink wrap my orders, and they're always in brand new bags and brand new boards, and sometimes recycled boards. I won't lie about that. I use brand new 56-point boards, but I sometimes supplement those with used boards. They're just getting recycled anyways, right? But always brand new bags, and they look fantastic. I shrink wrap them, I put them in a box, and I pack them really tight. Once I hand this box over to FedEx, it's out of my hands. I don't know what's happening. I've seen horror show videos, and I'm sure you have too, of how boxes sometimes are treated by courier companies. I can honestly say, luckily, I have not had books at CGC damaged, like significantly damaged on delivery at CGC. However, I have heard of other dealers contacting me upset that a box they sent themselves in transit was damaged, and some of the books were really significantly damaged, and they were asking me if I could press the books or fix the books when they came back, which I tried to do. Personally, I recently had an order come in, not even from far away, just from just east of me, about 45 minutes east. A fella shipped it to me, and the bottom left corner of, like, say, 15 books were damaged in shipping. So this can happen. And he packed the box really, really good. But if a box is dropped, no matter how well you pack that box with raw comics, they could be jolted and jittered and shifted, right? So that's one thing. Also, once it arrives at CGC, Frank, I don't know what's going on there. Remember, I asked to go to CGC. I wanted to see how they did things there. They wouldn't let me come over. They didn't want to welcome me there. They didn't want me to show me around. I couldn't see anything. I don't know how that place operates. So I don't know how many hands are touching your books prior to getting graded. Are they being careful? I would have hoped so. I would freaking hope so. But shit happens, right? Accidents can happen. Books can be dropped. Orders can be dropped. The next thing I'll talk about is, I was talking about it earlier, is climate control. Having proper climate control is very important. Now, if you're sending a box and it's sitting in a hot warehouse, that could cause problems, right? If it's in a freezing cold warehouse, that could also cause problems, right? So again, I don't know. Once the books leave here, unfortunately, like I told you, I'm putting a dehumidifier. I have a dehumidifier for the certain months of the year. I have a humidifier for certain months of the year. So while the books are with me, the climate is proper. The conditions are good for the paper. But once they leave my facility and go to other facilities, don't know. So to answer your question, yeah, stuff can happen to the books. The books can revert. They, of course, can go bad. I just noticed a couple of things here that I'm like I'm like almost 100. Look, I can't say I'm 100%. I'm 99% sure that one book did not have a detached staple. In fact, there's another fella. It was Logan's book. It was an Iron Man, a gorgeous Iron Man book. He and I inspected all the books before we shipped the books out. One came back with a bottom detached staple. Well, so Frank, yeah, it's paper. It's paper, and you've got probably, I would assume, at least 3 to 4 to 5 or 6 people handling the boxes and the books before it even gets to the grader. I'm talking from FedEx all the way to the person unpacking the boxes. So, unfortunately, You know, we do our best. It's all we can do, but shit can go sideways for sure. And the story I was going to tell you about prior to coming on here was my buddy Brian, one of my first clients, and one of the first Walking Dead #1s I ever did. It was a nice book, and I pressed it for Brian. It was gorgeous. I sent it out to CGC for him. Where's my marker? That's not good. Anyways, the book came back. I have told the story before. The book came back a 9.2, I think it was. And we looked, the book was gorgeous. We like, oh my gosh, the book is gorgeous. We turned the book over. Frank, check this out. And I'm not lying. So the front of the cover looks great. We took it over. The back cover has a sharp dog ear. Did I do it? Did I pack that book? And did I cause that dog ear? I'm fairly certain I did not. In fact, Brian, I believe, looked at the book before we even sent it in. So we send the book back, and Brian writes them and says, listen, this is bullshit. And complain, sent pictures of the book prior to going to them. And they pressed the book. Lo and behold, the book came back at 9.8. Came back at 9.8. And you don't think for a second that dog ear that was folded so sharply didn't leave a little bit of a line or remnants that it was folded over? It sure did. But he got a 9.8 on it. They shut him up. Here's your 9.8. F off. 9.8s don't have to be perfect, right? 9.8's not a 10. So anyhow, that book did not have a dog ear before it went there. So look, lots of shit happens when that book's being encapsulated. I've seen, human hairs embedded in there. I've seen lint in there. I've seen chunks of plastic in there. And again, are these people doing it on purpose? Of course they're not doing it on purpose. Are they doing the best job they can? Probably under the circumstances, but they are swamped over at CGC. They were anyways. I don't know if they still are. And when you're busy and you're trying to go fast and they've got quotas and they want these books pushed out, that's when these problems happen. And I'm busy too. But you guys know I'm pretty freaking slow. I'm like a freaking tortoise. And why am I slow? Because books are going back in. And Napur's looking at it. I'm looking at it. Charlie, no, don't put it back in. We're guys, when you send your books to me, it's not just me. It's you're getting all of us, and we're eyeballing those books together. Like, I don't run the place like a factory. We take our time and do it right. So when the books leave, they're in the best shape possible. And not to say things can't go wrong when you're pressing a book. Things can go wrong. Popples. What are popples? Staples can pop. It has happened. Sure it does. Things, rips can get worse. Spine ticks. I had this discussion with Warren not too long ago. Spine ticks can sometimes look even worse after a press. You're pressing it down. You're flattening it out. It's opening it up a little bit, right? So pressing is not a fix-all 100%. All we can do is what we can do, the best we can do. And so once it leaves here, who knows, right? Anyway, let's get back to these books. I hope that answered your question. Okay, what do we got here? We have A Miracle Man. I don't see this book too often. A Miracle Man #1 and a 6.5 right here. Oh, I love this copy right here. We got Catwoman, #70. Adam Hughes in a 9.6. What a gorgeous cover. What a gorgeous cover. And there's a lady. There's a cosplayer in BC, I think, and she does this with this outfit. Oh, she looks just like her. It's awesome. We also have a Star Wars #107, a newsstand copy in a 9.2. And we have another Adam Hughes, I believe. Yes, cover. This one, another Catwoman. I think these ones belong to that fellow I was talking about, that had some damage in the bottom left. This one came back at 9.8 though, which is great because I can see a little bit of schmutzy down there. So I got a feeling that this is one of the ones there. I could be wrong. Again, I don't like saying books belong to certain people because I'm never sure until we actually sort them. We have a Batman. I do think this is it. A Batman 656. This one's a 9.2. And we have a... Oh my God. Look at this thing got just destroyed. Silverhawks newsstand copy number 1. It's a book you don't see very often. And this slab just got smashed to shit. Look at that. Look at that, right open. So that one's going back to CGC pronto as well. Big chunks came off of that baby. And there we go. So that's box number 2. Box number 2. Let's go back to the chat room really quick here. Boom. Boom. All right. And I'll pack these up. We'll go over to box number 3 and then stick around. We're going to have a quick discussion about whether or not Golden Age books retain their value. I showed earlier on, a Detective Comics 33, and we're going to take a look at that book in particular, see what the values of that, has that book held its value? Has it gone up? Is it losing its value? We're going to check really, really soon in just a moment. Oh, look, Luke's here. Long time. Luke, how's it going? Bat, Ryan, I've never seen a book grade higher than a 4 with tape on it. Well, there you go. Thanks, Bat. I figured the max would be around 3 to 4. I think it's higher. I've seen books, modern books, someone puts, even if the tape's not holding anything together, I've seen a piece of tape on a relatively nice book go for, in this, I think it was like a 7.5. The tape was not there holding anything. I think the tape just accidentally fell on the book, and it was on the book. But it wasn't very big. It was maybe the size of my fingernail. And I think the book came back a 7.5, I believe, if I remember correctly. So, again, it depends on how much tape is on there, too. Again, how old the book? Are we talking Golden Age, Silver Age, or modern? And the one I was talking about was actually a modern book. It was like a Star Wars book or something like that. And it was a piece of tape on it, which was really kind of strange. Adam says, did you see the Dark Knight debate on cover art last week? Batman facing back or front? No, I didn't see anything. No, I did not see that. I got to check that out. GTA Lady says, I think front, though, Adam Donnelly. Tape is down the whole spine. Well, that's pretty significant. What did the Silverhawks end up getting? 9.2. Newsstand 9.2. Rob Bin says, what grade was the Silverhawks'? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's too busy showing you the smash. Too busy showing you its destruction there. Right there. Doing well, Luke. Doing well, my friend. All right. Let me just pack these babies away. We got 51 in the room right now, guys. Hey, if you're new here, where are you watching us from? I love to find out where people are tuning in from. So if you're new to the channel, or you're just kind of eavesdropping, you don't want to say much, you don't have to say much. Just drop down the city or the state or the province you're tuning in from. Would love to know where that is. All right. I do like these, though. CGC always sends me an abundance of these packer boards. They're like stuffing boards. They're good. I was running low on these, so I'm glad I got a bunch of these back. I sent 200 books to CGC yesterday. You know what? FedEx, gotta love them, though, man. I use the priority shipping. I know it's expensive, but I get a good rate from that freightcom.com, guys. You got to use freightcom.com. And it cost me $200 and some odd dollars to ship it down. It was great. That's why I'm able to charge so little when I ship books to CGC, because as you guys know, those that have used me, I usually charge like a shared shipping rate to ship the books down. If you give me 2 or 3 books, it usually doesn't cost more than $10 or $15. Even guys with big orders, like say 30 or 40 books, I don't usually charge more than like $1 a book, sometimes even less, like 75 cents a book. It depends on how many people books are going down at one time. But what amazes me is just the logistics of it all. The guy comes to my house late yesterday, like around 5:30, 6 o'clock, to pick up the two heavy boxes of comics. And then they arrive at CGC this morning at 11:30. It just boggles my mind how fast they can get those books down to CGC. And you know what? I know it's more money. If I were to use the ground shipping, I could charge people practically nothing. But you know what? I don't like again, going back to Frank's question, I don't like the books being in transit for 5 days. And that's what ground shipping does. 5 days. If they come and pick it up on a Monday, they get the books back on, the books arrive on a Friday. If I send it with the express, they pick it up on a Monday and it's there the next day, Tuesday. And if they're really busy because of the holidays or whatever, it's there on like the Wednesday. Never longer than that. The only time it was longer than that is when there was like hurricanes and inclement weather. But other than that, it's a great service and I love using it. And it puts my heart and my mind at ease knowing the books are going to be at CGC's facility and not at some FedEx warehouse in the middle of nowhere for 3 or 4 days or in some truck, traveling all the way down to Florida. So anyways, all right. Box number 2 is gone. So far, approximately 50 books, 2 of which with cracks. 58 of you in here right now, guys. Thanks for popping by. Do me a favor. Let's get those likes up if you wouldn't mind. It just helps my analytics a lot, guys. So hit that like button. Get me up to at least 30, 40 likes. 40 likes, that'd be nice. And let's get going on box number 3. I'm hoping there's a certain person's books in here because he's been waiting so patiently for them. But it could be in another box. All right. First off, we've got Air Pirates. Air Pirates Funnies number 1 from 1971. Now, that was a good year. I wasn't even born yet. Close. July of 71 in a 9.4. Let me go back to the overhead cam. Here's a book we don't see too often. Here's another copy in a 9.6. And a third copy in a 9.6. Right there. There we go. Oh, and by the way, guys, and this is only for people that I've done work for. Okay? Only people I've done work for. If you haven't left me a Google review yet, I know I asked a few weeks ago, and a lot of you responded, and I thank you so much for that. I need one more to get to 100. Once I hit 100, I'm going to give away somebody who's in those 100 Google reviews is getting a $100 gift card. So I need one more to get there. I've been sitting there lingering for about 5 or 6 days. But again, only if I've done work for you. Preferably you've enjoyed what I've done or you like what I've done. Leave me a review. And when I hit 100, I'm going to I'll just do a 1 out of 100 draw, and I'll correspond that to the reviewer, and I'll offer that person a gift card for $100 towards their next pressing. Actually, pressing and grading. But it's got to be both, not just pressing and not just grading, but pressing and grading. $100 credit. Okay? Oh, geez, we're not done with the Air Pirates. We got lots of Air Pirates here. Another one in a 9.4. And then another in a 9.4. Phil, are you watching? Phil, are you watching? Phil's got a couple of really big DC books that were coming back. I could have swore they were in that other box, but they're not yet. Maybe they're in here. Oh my gosh, look at this. You got to be kidding me. What is up with this color touch baloney? Is that color touch? But look at the grade on this. Small amount of color touch on cover. Check this out. 9.8. It don't look like a 9.8 to me, I'll be honest. I would have said like 9.4, 9.6. But I'm trying to see this color touch, and the only place it could be is right there. What's going on over there? That's like the third, was that a third color touch one we've seen? All right, that's better. Another 9.8 Marvel Secret Wars. Oh, look at this. Now we're talking Canadian price variant. 9.8. That's a pretty big book there. Sweet. Happy about that. Push that down a little bit. I just saw a thing there that's bothering me already. And Phil, if you're there, your books aren't in this box. They're in another box, I'm afraid, if you're watching. So I feel bad. I'm going to have to do another unboxing later this week, I think. I didn't want to do another unboxing this week, but I may have to do it. We got a newsstand copy of ASM 361 and a 9.8. And this is getting too high now. I'm going to have to go back to the chat. And then I will pack this up. All right, we have... Hey, Doc, the last books I sent, one of them was a CPR. If there is nothing more you can do with it, it's all good with me. Well, like I said, what we do when we see crack press and regrades is... Well, what I like to do is to examine the book as closely as possible. It's really difficult to try to examine a CPR candidate with pictures. I can do my best, but it's having it, in hand. And like I said a few weeks ago, and even just the other day, I was talking to somebody about this. CPR, usually we see a bump. And I'm going to say more often than not, we do see a bump. On the odd occasion, it comes back the same grade, and on the odd occasion, it goes down. But more often than not, it does go up. But it's a gamble any way you look at it. If with the CPR books, you got to look at the book and say, am I willing to take a chance on this? And if you're not, then just don't do it. Just get it. If you don't like the slab, get the slab, maybe re-slabbed, or just leave it the way it is and come back to it again later. Because there's never there's a degree of gambling involved, right? But if I look at a slab and I think, I wouldn't risk it, I will tell you that. I've done that. There's many times I've told people, just don't do it. I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah. Luke says, glad to hear. Hope to come by your new shop soon and check out all the new stuff. Do you carry lots of vintage Transformers? Funny you should say that. I've got 2 boxes full. Now, they're not complete Transformers, but I got a lot of old G1 Transformers that I have to put out. So, yes, to answer your question, yes. I just don't have, they're not complete, a lot of them. I got 1 or 2, I think, that are. But most of them are incomplete. But nice. So, if you're looking for inexpensive alternates or Transformers, yeah, come on by. Rob says, saw a YouTube video recently in which someone purchased a 9.0 or 9.2 Hulk, old label. Turns out the value stamp, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And CGC missed it. Rob, that is a nightmare, dude. CGC refused any compensation because they didn't witness the opening of the slab. Look, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw Charlo did a book for Mike, went from a 7.5 to a 9. Now, when Mike came to he gave me that book at a show, at the Toronto Comic Book Show. Oh, look at this. Nice. And I told Rob, I said, all right. So I told Mike, I think the book's probably going to go up to maybe, was it a 6? It was a 7.5 up to a 9. I said, maybe I'll go to an 8, maybe an 8.5. And I think it went to a 9 or a 9.2. And he was so happy. But yeah, imagine I cracked that and it was missing the stamp. I thought of that before, especially those old label ones. Oh, that's a nightmare. What a kick in the pants that would be. I mentioned a few weeks ago, there was an 8.0 on the show, and that was a book that belonged to a client that was an 8.5. And I said, yeah, let's give it a shot. I think it's got a shot at doing a 9. But I also followed it up with saying, remember, I'm not guaranteeing this. It's a gamble. And he said, go for it. And as soon as I took the book out of the slab, I knew it was not going to go to a 9. I just could tell. It had defects I couldn't see proper through the slab. And I'm like, shit. If I could have put it back in, I would have. But by the time you release it, that's that. And the book went from an 8.5 to an 8. Didn't kill the book. Could this book still be an 8.5? Yeah, if we shipped it back, maybe we could squeeze the 8.5 back out of it again. But could it come back a 9? No. So it's never a guarantee, my friends. So anybody who tells you it is, don't believe them, because it's just not a guarantee. But that honestly does happen very rarely. More often than not, the books do go up, But there's a risk. There's always a risk involved. And look at that. My God, Rob, that would have broke my heart. Oh, that would have broke my heart if I did that for somebody. Okay. We got a 9.8, first appearance of Booster Gold. That's nice. Oh, we got a nice copy, a nice high-grade copy of Batman 234 and a 9.0, first Silver Age appearance of Batman and Robin, of Two-Face. We have, oh, this is very, I just sold one of these not too long ago. Joker appearance, DC Comics, Batman 67 and a 7.5 off-white pages. This one here does have color touch, and this one we knew about. We knew about this one. We contacted the owner, and he said, go ahead, I want to grade it anyways. We have a Batman 89. Here it is. It says the last pre-code issue in a 5-0. First appearance of the Rhino in Spider-Man 41 in a 4.0. We have a nice few X-Men books here. We got X-Men 107 in a 9.2. Nice copy. We also have a copy of X-Men 97 in a 9.2. Probably from the same collection, I would think. And we've got a 9.4 copy of X-Men 120. There we go. I'm going to put these back as I go on to the next thing. Robin. Oh, okay. Rob says, yeah, I know that. Oh, Randy Day from Winnipeg. Excellent. Welcome, Randy. If you're still here, welcome from Winnipeg. You guys got snow out there yet? Bad Hombre, and the 100th review. Just did it. Oh, thanks, Bad Hombre. Appreciate that. That means I'll do the next show I'm on, I will announce the winner. Eric Williams, who is color touching Nova Ones? Exactly. Who is doing that? What is Frank saying there? I can't see Frank's comment. Where'd it go? There. What? Frank. Wow, I want the 252. I had a feeling you might. And if Frank did buy that 252, he'd send it back for a custom label immediately. And Frank, I will. Once I know who the owner is, I'll let them know that you're interested in buying it. If it's for sale, perhaps you guys can strike a deal. Nice run of books here. Thanks, Astro Lucky. Key Comics, that's a nice one. It sure is. Kevin, let the owner know. Okay, cracking slabs can be risky for that reason. That's right. Logan, congrats on 100 reviews, Kevin. Thanks, Logan. Appreciate it. Some lucky reviewer is going to get a $100 gift card. I did that before, a long time ago, when I hit 50 reviews. And I think it was Henry from Montreal that won the gift certificate, or the credit, whatever you want to call it. I don't really have gift cards. I just make note of it and give you credit when you send your books in. I skipped ahead to Sam, but Eric, any idea what could cause a 9.6 book graded in 2020 to have rusty staples by 2023? What conditions could do that to a slabbed book? Eric, is this your book? All I can think about is too much humidity. That's what I'm thinking. Too much humidity. I heard that sometimes storing books in certain kinds of safes will hasten rusty staples. But generally speaking, it's damp. Like if you're storing your book in a damp area, don't think because it's in that slab, it's sealed from all the elements. No, these slabs here are meant, in the inner sleeves are meant to still breathe. So yeah, that could be it. But is it your book? And if so, how did you store it? Sam, ASM 361, the mascot returns. It sure does. In a 9.8, which is okay. Luke, moisture, I would assume, or really poor conditions. Yeah. Key Comics, CPR are good when they work. That's for sure. They're good when they work out. They're not so good when they don't. Now I have a Flash 123 I cracked. And again, as soon as I cracked it, I'm like, oh, shit. And it's funny. Once I crack the book, I know if the book's going to go up or not. I usually have a pretty damn good, once it's cracked. Looking through the acrylic there and the inner sleeve, you could get excited, but it's not until the book comes out of the slab where I really get excited or get sad, because once it's out, I know. I can't say, when I saw that Flash 123, as soon as I pulled it out, I'm like, oh my God, I thought it was going to go down more than it actually did. It went down half a grade, but yeah. Spiro says, does a black light help notice color touch? It can help. But not always. You know what really helps with color touch, believe it or not, is this. This helps. Why don't I have a lens over here? Because as you know, I'm legally blind in my right eye, guys. So it doesn't work. Yeah. Like a jeweler's magnifying glass, that is the best way. You can, when you look really close with one of these, you can usually tell if there is color touch on a book. Yeah, will the black light help? It does sometimes. It's not a full I've used in fact, I'll tell you, I bought a bunch of Golden Age books, some beautiful Golden Age books once off of a fellow, and I black lighted them, and it glowed. And this is a long time ago. This is going back when I was, pretty early on pressing and cleaning, and this is going back probably 12 years. So when I saw the book glowing, I freaked out, and I'm thinking, oh my God, there's glue all over it, and there's color touch all over it. The black lights glow, the book's glowing. It's full of restoration. I sent the book in. I was sure it was going to be, they were going to come back all restored. Not one came back restored grade. So those black lights can be very, very deceiving. Look, it's a tool. It's a tool. But I'm getting honest with you. Pick up a pair of these guys right here. And what you do, honestly, I'll show you. You take these. And, of course, I'm going to show you on a slab book. But do this to a raw book. You take it. And you just go along the spine. Really, I go really close to the book. And everything glows. And with a good light. You need a good light, obviously. And just look. And you can see when there's a color tick, it's colored in, you can kind of see it. You can see, it's hard to explain, but you can see that there's been pen or ink added to it. Of course, the other way is to open the book up. Oftentimes, if they use marker, it bleeds through. Not always, but sometimes it does. So yeah, that's how I like to look for color touch. Usually we catch it with the naked eye when we do catch it. And I'll be honest, like I said, we don't catch it all the time. We're not necessarily looking for color touch. We go by the assumption that the owners kind of know their books. They've looked over their books already before they give them to us. If we are working on the books and we do happen to notice it, then we'll of course stop what we're doing and contact you. But it doesn't happen all the time, especially the color touch is very minor. It could pass us right by. Now we are paying close attention to your books, but we are not like going through every single page and looking. We're not spending 30 minutes in examining every book. We get nothing done if we did that. So yeah, it's really up to the owner, and it's incumbent upon you. Due diligence. Do your due diligence before you send your book anywhere. To me or to CGC or to another presser, you should be examining your books yourself. Pick up a pair of those glasses and spend 3 or 4 minutes on each book giving it the once over. Now that's not going to tell you if the book's been trimmed or not necessarily, but it's a good way of finding color touch. All right. I've got about, oh my gosh, I got about another 7 or 8 books in this box. Hold on here. I'm going to put these here like this. Okay. Here we go. All right, next. Brother Voodoo's first appearance in Strange Tales 169 in a 5.5. And we have a Avengers 28 first appearance of the Collector in a 7.0. We also have another Air Pirates funny. Holy cow. What's going on with this book? In a 9.6. We have a Tales of Ghost Castle #1 in a 6.5. Why the hell is this a 6.5? You've got to be bloody kidding me. This is not a 6.5. Okay, whoever graded this was like seriously stoned. Seriously, is there a staining there? Is that what I'm seeing? I can't tell if that's a stain or not. I don't think it's a stain. Gotta check the graders. No, this book looks too nice to be a 6.5. To me, it's like an 8. But there might be a stain in the back. If that's the case, then I can see it. But we've got a 7.0 copy. Another bunch of nonsense here. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, I remember this now. It's a 7.0. This is a strange book, guys. It's a 7.0 copy of Kung Fu Fighter #1. And it's saying it's got a conserved grade saying the staples have been replaced. The staples were not replaced. Staples are there. This book had what appeared to be someone had stapled the book as well. So we did remove the staples. It came back conserved. Now, were there 4 staples in this book, like from the factory? I don't think so. So we're going to have to re-examine this book and see what's going on. Got to re-examine that one. Okay, we have a New Mutants 87. This one's in a 9.4 for Spirits Cable. We're ending this with a big one, guys. And I feel bad for Phil. I told him his books were going to be on tonight, and they're not. So maybe they'll be on later this week. We have a 9.6 of John Wick. And last but not least, second last, we have The Last of Us American Dreams. Looking for any more cracks. And that is at an 8.5. And we end this off with Frank's book. It was a crack and press and regrade. Does look a lot better, but look at that. And a 6.5. And I believe it was a 6.0 prior. Right, Frank? It was a 6.0, right? I think we got a small bump on this one. Now, this one presented some challenges. This one had a very deep it was folded. The book was folded. They call it a subscription crease. But the book was like folded, and there was denting going right through the book, and it was extremely visible in the front. So what we did is we pressed every single page, got it out in the front. And the back, we did smooth it out. But if you look at it now, I don't know if you can see it there. I'll go over here. It looks as though it's come back again. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. See that? See how sharp that was? I can assure you, when this left us, it wasn't like that. It was smooth, but as it was handled and put in the new slab, it kind of returned. But the worst part was the denting was very visible in the front as well too, and that is still pretty decent. That's hasn't come back, which is good. But that subscription crease was always going to be there to some extent. It was quite sharp, but it was much smoother than it appears to be here. So we did get a bump. I was hoping for a 7, but we got a 6.5. I think it was a 6 though, right? There you go. That's it, guys. That's the slabs for you right there. Let's go back to the chat. If anybody else is saying anything. Ooh. Oh. Luke, yes, I have 4 or 5 Dinobots. I'm selling them as a set for about $145, and you get 5 of them, I think. I'm not going to give you all the names. I know the T-Rex is there, and Swoop is there, and the Triceratops is there, and there's one more, and I'm missing one of them. But yeah, it's a set. But it's a very well played with set. But if you're looking for it, then come by the shop and take a look. Frank says, I have quite a few sub bumps from CPR. He has. Frank's been very lucky. He's been picking up some really good ones. I think one of his biggest bumps was that Punisher, right? Astro Lucky Doc, I'm looking for an FF49 if you know anyone who may have one available. Ooh, that's a book you should be able to find, I think, pretty easily. I don't know anybody who has one right now. But I'll keep my eye open. Booster Gold cover. And by the way, anybody here has a FF49 for sale? Astro Lucky's looking for one. Just give him a holler right there. Maybe you guys can make a deal right now. Like that Booster Gold cover. Not what I collect, but it looks real cool. It does. It's a nice looking book. Eric Williams, not my book at the Rusty Staples. One I saw on eBay, seller disclosed it, but I was shocked that the rust could get that bad in such a short time. It could have happened. Was it a 9.8? It could have happened prior to being slabbed too, right? So Frank says it was a. So Key Comics digital microscopes are good. Yes, it did. I had a digital microscope as well. They're quite inexpensive from Amazon, and you can see quite a bit. Frank says, yes, on the back. 6.5 is good. Congrats, Adam. Awesome book stock. You're very welcome. Thanks, Kev. I was hoping for a 7.75 the Hulk 21. I know. So was I. 6.5. Listen, the way I look at it, a bit of a bump is better than no bump at all. Any word on another live sale, Doc? The P-Man is asking. I'm in talks with Cobra Comics. I'm in talks with Mike, Roy, a whole bunch of guys want to do live sales again. And yeah, probably like I'm pretty busy. Part of me taking this time off and being, focusing on the business as well. And don't laugh at me when I tell you this, guys. My wife always laughs at me. I was trying to get healthy. I was trying to start taking care of myself a bit more and spending an hour or two a day doing exercise. What's that? Exercise. And I haven't been doing that. That is something I really need to get doing. As you get older, I think you all understand this. We're all kind of in the same boat here. We're all probably in our, not all of us here, but I'm sure a lot of you are around the same age as I. We got to take care of ourselves. These bodies aren't going to last forever. So that's what I really want to do. That being said, yes, I do want to get back to the sales again. They were fun. If anything else, they were fun. Debating whether I'm going to do them like I did last time from here and having, my other seller at their house. It's easier for me to do it that way. Or if I'm going to do it like from my shop, but then I might have to have equipment set up there. So I got to figure it out. I'll probably do them online at first. So whoever's going to sell their books needs to be somewhat computer savvy with, doing Zooming or doing Messenger, like online, with they need a good microphone and a good headset and a good camera so we can show the books off. But that's what I'm going to do, Troy. It's going to happen, I think, at some point. Great books tonight and great show once again. You're very, very welcome, Astro Lucky. Listen, guys, I want to talk really quickly because I did promise I was going to do this at the beginning of the show. We're already at a 1 hour, 40-minute mark. I did not want to be on this late. I want to talk a little bit about, I want to talk a bit about Golden Age books. So we'll come back to the chat in just a few minutes, but let's get over here really quickly. Now, we did look today at Detective Comics 33, and let's have a look at this book right now and how the book has been doing over the last little while. And the book we have now, the latest sale here is March 2023. So March of this year, we've had a sale. I'm looking around here, and there hasn't been a lot of recent sales other than an 8.0 in 2022. And I'm looking down the list here, and I do not see any 2023. Oh, we got one here as well, 3.5. Let's look at the 3.5 because the book I have with me right now is a 3.0. So last sale is $45,600 US, and that was this year. In 2021, another one, it looks like sold for, is that the same book or what's going on with that? Let's see, what does this do when I click on that? Does it show me a graph or something? Or no, nothing. In 2020, the book was a $27,000 book. And way back in 2003, it was a $5,000 book. Now, if I understand correctly, the owner of this book did pick this book back up in the mid-aughts, I believe. So he probably paid around that much for it. So I don't see the book, it's sold recently. It's holding its value by the looks of it. It's kind of plateauing here, as you can see, but it is holding its value. What does this do if I do a 5-year? Yeah, it kind of goes up, but it's holding on. Now, we haven't got any recent sales yesterday, in the last little while. I don't see any 2023s on here either. So, you don't see books like this go up all the time, but by the looks of it, this book is holding on, and if anything, it's trending up rather. Now, let's look at this last one that sold here in 2023, and it was an 6.5, sold for $288,000. Last sale was $81,000 in 2018. So, yeah, in 3 years, the book is almost, gee whiz, tripled basically. So again, Golden Age book. I know it's a key book. It's a heavy hitter book. It's one of those grail books that you're never gonna. I think it's never gonna really falter, whether it goes down or not. But yeah, so it looks pretty good. Why don't we look at a different Golden Age book? Let's look at another big one. Let's look at, say, I don't know. How about Action? Was it Action Comics number 9 is another big one, isn't it? I won't pick number 1. Let's try number 9. I think number 9 is an actual cover, a Superman cover. Let's see. That's the one right there. Let's see what's going on with this. And I'm not seeing any recent sales. 2020, no. 2022, no. I'm not seeing any 2020. No, I don't see any 2023 sales of this one. How about can you guys recommend any Golden Age books to look up? What do you guys think? Hey? What do you guys think? What do you think I should P-Man says Golden Age books do seem to at least hold their value. It seems like they are, based on the one book anyway. But does anybody have another book they want me to look up really quick? I can take a quick look. What do you think? Should we look at some Superman books or other Batman issues? How about Batman #1? We looked at Tech 33. Why don't we try Batman #1? Actually, that's a good idea. Batman #1 from, I think it's 1939 or is it 1940? I always get that mixed up. Let's see. I think it's actually 1940. Here's one right here. Let's go over to that and see. All right. So let's see if we have any recent sales of Batman #1. There we go. So we've got a 7-0 sold for $660,000 in March. And again, look at this. In 2018, the book was $334,000, and it has pretty much doubled from 2018 in 5 years to now. And again, this sale was in March of this year. Okay, it's not today. I understand that, and things have changed even since March, but the book has steadily gone up, as you can see from the graph here. So again, Golden Age, key book, and I'm not just talking about any old book. It's a very important book. Obviously, has trended upwards. Let's see if there's any other ones. So here we go. Here's an 8-0. Let's see how 8-0 is done. Okay, now an 8-0 seems to be dipping a little bit. So an 8-0 in 2021 sold for $120,000. Oh my God, I'm lying. 1 million. Sorry, 1 million. So $1.2 million. 1.2 million in 2021. The book has dropped to 1.1. So it has dropped by 100,000 or so, give or take. It's that's a pretty big drop. 90,000 or so, 95, something like that. Anyways, the book has dropped a little bit, but compared to some of the other drops we've had, it's not dropping in half. I mean, Batman #1 it didn't go from 1.2 million to like 500,000. It's still well over $1 million. And again, this is a big book. It's an 8.0. Let's see if there's any other lower grade copies that have sold recently. Here's one. Here's a good one right now. Oh, it's saying it's going down. So we got a 3.5 sold this month. Sorry, in September, not this month, but in September. So here we go. Again, 2018, the book sold for 143,000, and then it sold for 264,000 in 22, and it has dropped. It has dropped by around about $45,000 from 2022 to now, and this is a recent sale. This is like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So the book has gone down, but again, it's not dropping in half. Right? It's going down, what is it, 10%? It's not a massive drop. It's not, this graph isn't dropping down sharply. Let's see if there's any other samples here from 12. Here's another one. Here's a 2.5, and that's also going down. Let's see how big of a drop that one has had. So in 2020, the book was, it's 2020 is, I guess, right in the middle of COVID, I guess, isn't it? 2017 was 80,000. During COVID, it's 102,000. Jumps in the boom, in the comic boom, it jumps to 270,000. And the book has now, I wouldn't say it plummeted. It's still over $200,000. Again, we see about 270, about a $60,000, $55,000 drop. So yes, the book has dropped, but it isn't, in half. So I can't even tell you what the discount is. Let's see. Let me see if I can figure out what that is. So 270,000 times say 0.1. No, it's more. It's right. Is it 20% drop? Yeah, but a 20% drop. So it has dropped 20%. And then again, Batman #1 in a 2.5 and a 2.5. Blue Label, of course. Any other ones? Any recent ones? Here's another one here. Here's a 1.8. If I can open up, let's go. Here's a 1.8. So it's kind of up and down. 2022 is 180,000. This year, the high was 144. The low was 114. So it's dropped by quite a bit. You know, let's see that one. 180. 36. No, it's dropped more like 30%. So, yeah, 20 to 30% drop on that. So, yeah, while the Golden Age books they seem to be a little more stable. They're not dropping like by 50% or 60% like a lot of these Silver and Bronze Age books are. There's definitely it's faltering. It's faltering a little bit, right? P-Man, Gold, okay. David Clark. Okay, so now you guys are giving me some books to check. I'll look at a few other ones here. Look up Action #1 or Superman 1. It tanked. I looked up Superman #1 earlier. I didn't see it. Didn't show anything, but I can look again. Let's try Superman #1. I'll do one or two more, and I gotta get going, guys. I'll go to Superman #1 here. Let's go. I don't think anything really. I'll go Superman first like this and see if maybe I was doing it wrong earlier. I should have had all these saved. Let's see. I'll just do it this way. Superman #1, 1939. 1939, right here. I assume this is the one here. Because I remember, I heard about Superman dying. Do you remember the grade of the, here it is, right here. Is this the one here, the 3.0? Let's have a look. This is the one that really tanked, if it's the one I'm thinking of. No, this is not it either. See, 2020, 310,000. In 2023, the book sold as high as 360. Recently, in November, it sold for 300,000. The book's down 60 grand. So again, what is that? I'm not the best math person here. Let's see what it times 0.3. No, it's not that much. 360,000 times 0.25. That's too much. It's about 20%, I think, as well. Actually, it's less, like 15,000. It's like 15%. So we're still in that same ballpark. These Golden Age books are falling at about 15 to 20%, 25% maybe. But we haven't seen these big, giant dips. You know what I'm going to do, actually, guys? I'd rather have a look at something like, let's look at a Silver Age Grail and see how they're doing. I think that'd be kind of fun. Let's just have a quick look. I know some of you guys gave me some other titles. I do appreciate that, but it is getting kind of late. I just want to compare. Actually, let's do X-Men #1. That's a good one to look at. It's a pretty popular book. And let's see how much that book has dropped. Are the Silver Age keys dropping as much as the Golden Age keys? Well, let's find out right now. So here's an X-Men #1. We're going to probably see a lot more sales of these. I would think. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So let's have a look. We'll look at a high grade one, and then we'll look at a low grade one. So look at the there's the height. There's the boom right there. There's the comic boom, and then so in 2021 the book was as high as, no way, 158,000. Holy shit. That's 2021. And 2022, it starts coming back down to reality, 132, and now it's at 58. Look, the book is totally mellowing back out. It's still higher than it was pre-COVID, Like pre-COVID, we're down in the 20s. The book is still garnering 58,000, but that book is down like, holy cow, is it 70%? 158, 400 times 0.70. No, not 70, about 60%. It's down about 60%, guys. That's massive. That's massive. So let's go back to and look at a lower grade one. Let's look at like I have a 4.5, for example. I own a 4.5. Let's see when I should have sold it. Oh my God, I'm already getting sick to my stomach. So one just sold for 10 grand US. Let's see what that book was going for. Hey, look at this. There's a comic boom down. There's some talking of the X-Men movies right there, and then right back down again. So in 2021 highs, the books were going for around. No way. No, was that book really selling for that kind of money back then? 32,000? If it was, I really feel ill to my stomach. I don't think it was going for that much. Was it 4.5? Am I right, guys? Was it going for... Okay, that's making my stomach sick. That can't be right. Maybe it is right. I think it is right, Because I know the book at one point was up to 22, so maybe it was... If that's the comic boom, that book would have been 32 grand. No way. I'm having a hard time believing that. But if that's the case, if the book was $32,000 in 2021, it drops down by 10 grand to 2022, and it drops down another 10 grand in 2023. So the book is down huge from one year to the next. Huge. Now, in the low end, it doesn't seem quite as... See, this is when I bought the book here around this time. I'm still having a hard time believing that's it. Am I wrong? I got to go back to the chat room. Guys, am I wrong? Am I reading that correctly? Does that mean the book sold in 2021 for $32,600? Oh my God, if it does, I feel absolutely sick. I don't think that's correct. That cannot be correct. Let's go back to the chat. Please tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I am wrong. Newbies and people who get overexcited, overpaid big time. Lots of those X-Men one out there, to be honest. I know. I don't know if that's true or not, guys, but it is obvious that the Golden Age books have retained... Now, listen. I'll go back to my main camera here, guys. I got to get going. But to end this, it's obvious that Golden Age books, key Golden Age books, are taking a bit of a hit. Are they 100% recession-proof? No, not at all. They are coming down, and they may come down even more. Many believe that they will, and it's probably a good time to buy or even get involved to buy, or start getting in the mood to buy is what I'm trying to say. But Silver Age books, as we saw right there, go to the right and click the down circle. I was doing it wrong. Oh, let's see. Okay, one second. I gotta go back now. I gotta go back because I don't believe that actually happened. That's awful. GPA, there it is. Hold on. All right, so 2023. Or no, I'll go to 2020. Where's it? 32,000 right there. Nothing's happening. Oh my God, it did. So, oh man, I feel so sick to my gut. It was, someone paid $32,000 for an X-Men #1. Let's see if it comes up. No, there it is right there. Yeah, there it is right there. I can't believe that book sold for that kind of money. I want to start crying right now. Why did I sell these books? I don't think a lot of them are selling for that kind of money, but they were selling for, it seems like 20, 25, 24, 23 was not unheard of. And oh my Lord, the book's down to 10. It's down to 10. It's probably where it should be. And even that might be a little bit too high. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying, it looks like Golden Age books are a little more recession-proof than these Silver Age books have been. Because right now, everybody's feeling the pinch, okay? And yes, there's more of these Silver Age books out there. and they're getting hit harder than the Golden Age books are. And we're looking at Batman #1. We're looking at these, Tech 31s. These are really rare books. So it makes sense that they're going to hold their values a lot stronger than these Marvel, Silver Age keys that are, let's be honest, readily available. But again, are they recession-proof 100%? No. Will they come back? You know what? These Golden Age books probably have more of the ability to get kind of back to where they were before these Silver Age books ever will. Will they reach the pinnacles to where they were? Over time they will. Of course they will. But it won't be as quick as it was over 2020, 21, 22. That was a very crazy moment in time. Guys, listen. Thanks so much for popping by. It was a long video today. I had a lot of books to share with you. I do have more boxes to share with you, so I probably will do another video at some point this week. I may do a pre-recorded one to get it on here. Yeah, remember, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and remember to join me again next Tuesday at 8:30 for some more unboxings and some more comic talk. All right? Until then, take care. Have a fantastic night, and have a great rest of your week. Bye for now.